Hey fellow tankers, Mobius Y here with another video for World of Tanks console. Today's video is a pretty short one as we're just going through Update 4.3's summary, the Nom Nom Han incident. I do like Nom Noms. Those are nice. So I'm just going to go through a couple key points of the summary notes here, making those of you who have not gone through this yourself aware of some key changes. New features on the Xbox One and PS4. The clan link has been added to the options menu. We've also got some new maps, a new map coming in Nom Nom Han Winter, exclusive to World of Tanks console, based on the real Kalkengol River, and I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong. That's how the Soviets battle the Japanese. It features a Y-shaped river cutting through the middle of the map. The river has massive war damage and is surrounded by open fields. A large town sits in the south that sweeps up into the giant mountains. We've also got a winter variant of Malinovka coming in. We've also got the return of Severogorsk and Livos. These two I'm actually really happy to see. Severogorsk, it's a map that I actually have liked since it came out quite some time ago, and Live Oaks has been in the game pretty much since the game first released in 2014 on the Xbox 360, before there was an Xbox One or a PS4 version. So it's been around for a long time, and lots of veteran players are familiar with it. It's nice to have that kind of familiarity coming back into the map rotation. There's also been some improvements made in changing the map weighting and availability per tier based on survey feedback. My brain is reading faster than my mouth can say it. Removed Port, Komarin, and Wide Park from Battle Tier 8 through 12. This means that tanks at Tiers 8 through 10 will not see Port, Komarin, or Wide Park. Battle Tier 12 is essentially a game where it's all Tier 10s. That's what Battle Tier 12 means. So if you're playing your Tier 10s or your Tier 9s, you will not see Port, Komarin, Wide Park. You also should not see it if you are playing a Tier 8 tank. They reduced the weighting of Engsk and Mines, so it doesn't pop up as often. The Storm variant weighting was reduced from 25% to 10%, so there's less likelihood of Storm variants that cut down your radio range and your spotting range by about half. They drastically reduced that by over half. They also reduced the weight of Pacific Island. I've been getting that map to pop up a lot myself. I'm quite glad to be playing a little bit less, as it's really not a map that I'm a huge fan of. They increased the weighting on mixed hills and town and mixed mountains and plains maps like Himmelsdorf, Westfield, Mannerheim Line. I don't know what that is, actually. Secret new map. Spoiler alert. Prokhorovka, Murovanka, Siegfried Line, and Fisherman's Bay. So they increased the weighting on those maps so that we have less of these city-specific corridor maps going on in the map rotation right now. They added additional stats to the tank details, such as accuracy on the tank while it is moving, and accuracy on the tank while the turret is rotating. These are nice values to have, as these were just soft stats that you would normally have to go onto something like tanks.gg to look at. And even then, you weren't getting accurate values because tanks.gg is strictly based off of the PC version. And it might not be 100% accurate to what the stats are for the the console versions of the tanks. So it's nice to see that added into tank details. Improve the appearance of inscriptions on white camouflage. Almost all inscriptions have been updated to be more readable on winter camos because they were pretty much impossible to see when you would put an inscription which was white paint on top of a winter camo which was white paint. So the distressing has been removed and a thicker stroke has been added to each inscription. There's also a couple other things that I'm not going to go through each and every little thing here. Next battle button automatically disables for end-user license agreement violations. So if you are essentially breaking certain parts in the agreement that you take when you accept the EULA, you lose the next battle button. So basically, if you're AFKing, this will make it harder. Improved HD tracer for better slow motion viewing, which is really nice, and plenty of other things changed in here. There were some balance changes as well. Nothing too significant. The one that people have been absolutely blowing their tops over is this TVP T50-51. This is the Tier 10 Czechoslovakian medium tank. It got a bit of a nerf. The reload time was increased from 25 seconds to 28 seconds, so 3 seconds longer to load your full clip of 4 shots, and the clip rate was reduced from 40 to 35. So basically, the delay between shooting rounds off in the clip was increased, if I recall from reading the forums correctly, by like 0.2 seconds. A tad more than 0.2 seconds. People were losing their minds over this big nerf. It was actually kind of funny. The HMH FV305, it's a British artillery premium. It got increased chassis rotation by 50%, from 22 degrees to 30 degrees per second, and the reload time was reduced by over a second. The Skoda T50, which is the Tier 9 Czechoslovakian medium tank, also got a reload time increase of 3 seconds on its 100mm AK-1 gun, which I am quite certain is the top gun. Also, some slight buffs in terms of penetration to both the Motherland and T-54 first prototype. The standard AP shell went up from 181 pen to 190, and the APCR pen went up from 241 to 247. So, some pretty nice improvements there. Overall to the Motherland and T-54 first prototype. It definitely needed a little bit of loving. Type 59, increased ammo count, slight buffs to the Comet in terms of dispersion when moving or rotating the chassis, so on and so forth. There's a whole slew of bug fixes. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything because this list is really, really long, as you can see. There's a lot of changes to some of the maps where they fixed some issues with the props, as well as things like floating debris and wreckage in a map like Berlin Winter. Fairly new map. It's pretty common whenever a brand new map comes out that there's just the odd little kind of thing that's either misplaced, or you got like it says floating debris in certain areas, and spots where players are getting stuck or unintentionally accessing. So they did a lot of fixes for that with Berlin Winter. Severogorsk, they removed visible terrain geometry and fixed decals. They smoothed out the terrain as well, so that it's easier to be shooting as expected. Icebound fixed collision on house to match visual model. There was I can't remember where it was specifically, but there was at least one house where your tank would actually partially go into the wall, as well as another spot where your tank would get stuck as though it is hitting a wall, but it's actually not touching the house whatsoever. So a bunch more balance changes, or not balance changes, there's a bunch more bug fixes here, and I recommend you go through these notes on your own time in better detail. I just wanted to summarize some of the key changes to make everybody who does not go over these themselves aware of what has been made different with update 4.3 that dropped earlier this week. So if you would like to read these on your own time and go through every little detail, there will be a link in the description below to these update notes. Simply click on it and it'll take you right to this webpage. Reminder that I will be again streaming this Friday some World of Tanks console. Probably going to be playing the Conqueror some more, but also trying to get some more games in the 113, as I am currently grinding for the Chieftain and just trying to get enough games in the 113 to make what I feel is an accurate review based on the 113's statistics, as well as how it plays in combat. So drop by. Show starts 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as it does every Friday. Link to my Twitch channel in the description below. Also a link to my Twitter feed in case I have to cancel or postpone. So that'll sum it up for this short video. This has been Mobius Y for World of Tanks console. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the battlefield. As always, happy tanking.